Hello again, everybody. This is John and Glenn with BestPriceNutrition.com. Today we're going to teach you guys how to choose a pre-workout. It's become a really big category in the supplement industry, so there's a lot of different things in them, so many different ingredients, so it can be kind of hard to choose which one's best for you. First of all, we break them down into two categories up at the top. Stimulant and non-stimulant pre-workouts. Stimulant being those that contain stimulants, non-stimulants being those that don't contain any stimulants. Excuse me. So you could take a non-stimulant one if you were working out close to bed and you were about going to sleep or something like that, or you just want to avoid stimulants altogether. Now, there's been quite a cycle, if you will, of pre-workouts that have come out over time. And originally, they were focused not so much around stimulants, but on increasing nitric oxide, which we still see, but not as much. Do you want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, you know, one of the first ones was Explode, VPX Shotgun, Super Pump 250, and those are really geared towards the increasing nitric oxide in the body. And then over time it switched, and I think a lot of that switch was because consumers started to realize that they weren't getting as much of the pump as these ingredients were supposed to give them, because the body has mechanisms in it that will help it maintain a homeostasis. So if there's something in there trying to increase nitric oxide production, the body comes in and says, okay, I need to get back to normal, and there's an enzyme called arginase, and this enzyme can lower that or bring your blood vessels back to normal. So started to realize that wasn't as much of the effect that they were.
Because arginine was the first ingredient that was in all of them, or various forms of arginine, AKG, things like that. Because as Glenn said, they dilate, open up the blood vessels was the idea, so you get this big pumped feeling. But really, people have come to realize, at least some have, some haven't, is that real pump feeling you're getting is from the stimulants getting you going for your workout. And as a result, if those stimulants cause you to have a better workout, then they've kind of done their job, so to speak. So that's kind of the idea. Dilating and constricting blood vessels is something your body pays close attention to, because there's always negative feedback loops, because that's containing blood pressure and so many things like that, where to allocate blood to. So if you're working out hard, you're squeezing your muscles and stuff like that, well, you're going to be squeezing blood into there, and if you're all stimmed up, that's going to help get you going. So I think a lot of people have, like Glenn said, come to realize that. The first being like Explode, things like that, and we've seen different evolutions of these products. Now they had a larger serving size too, because a lot of them had a big dose of amino acids and stuff in there too,
the scoop size was pretty big compared to some of the ones you see now. So they had to fit all of those aminos and things like that.
So like Jacked or Jack 3D, however you want to say it, has a smaller serving size of about 5 grams, whereas a lot of these originally had about 15, 20 gram serving size.
Yeah.
And what they would do is they pretty much concentrated the amount of stimulants in there per scoop. So you can kind of take less and feel it a little bit more. So that's kind of where it's going.
Yeah, the newer ones right now, they're like John was saying, very heavily with the stimulants and things like that.
And this isn't even a new one anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. Jack was probably the one that kicked off that evolution into a smaller serving size, or at least so we've seen. And then nowadays, with there being there's a lot of controversy around the ingredient 1,3-dimethylamylamine, or DMAA. A lot of companies are switching over to pre-workouts without that ingredient, because it's sort of up in the air. We don't know if it's at the time of this video, if it's going to be banned or not. So I think companies are just taking precautions and going away from it.
We have a video outlining the details of that, so we'll spare you the details. But as Glenn said, there's a lot now that have come out without it. I think this is one of the first ones that came out without it. It's lit up, right? There's no 1,3-dimethylamylamine in this one. Correct?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure.
Let me make sure.
Oh, yeah, there's not.
Yeah, no, there's not. No.
But that one has the main ingredient of D-aspartic acid, which is something we have a video on too, where it was thought that could increase testosterone levels. There's one study that kind of showed that, so I'll go through the details. They're separate. But you're starting to see ingredients like that pop up in the pre-workouts. So that's kind of changed as well. And when you do take stimulant-based ones, we're not anti-stimulant-based ones. I'm fine with them. I use them sometimes because they do get you going for a workout. We'd recommend breaking up your use of them, maybe take them 2, 3, maybe 4 times a week, just so your body doesn't build up a tolerance to the stimulants, because then you have to take from 1 scoop, you used to feel it, and then you're taking 2 scoops and 3. Whereas if you limit your use, you can kind of stay sensitive to stims. Or if you want to use it every day, maybe use the whole bottle straight through, and then give yourself, a couple weeks, a few weeks of a break. So they kind of let your body reset so you can build up that sensitivity to stims again. So.
Yeah, exactly. Because these things can become costly then if you're using 2, 3, 4 scoops a day for a workout.
Yeah, there's people opposed, and then that's kind of getting into unhealthy territory too. When you're doing over 500 milligrams of caffeine a day and stuff, you really shouldn't need that just to function. So kind of taper it. So the best way you can do it is use it inconsistent. Maybe use it on a day where you feel like you need the buzz to get you going for your workout. Now, there are pre-workouts also that have no stimulants. Now those are a little bit unique. They're going to have different ways to try and get you going. Some of them have a focused effect on like nootropics, things for cognitive function, kind of help you focus, but without the stimulants in there. So
yeah, there's I think it's a product called Ultima.
Yes,
that's
Ultima's
a very popular one with no stimulants inside of it. You get more of a mental energy boost rather than a bodily energy boost. So it's sort of getting you that tunnel vision in your brain.
And some people use that on the days that they don't use their stimulant one. Some of them mix their stimulant with that. Now there are others too that are like beta-alanine based, which is a really good ingredient. Kind of gives you like a warm, tingly feeling all over. It sounds like a joke, but it actually does have that effect. Paresthesia is with the exact name of the effect. But that's been demonstrated to be effective at buffering acid, which can build up the acid that dissociates from lactic acid can be rate limiting in your workout. So some of them will have that. Let's see, we have an example. We have one here that has a good dose of beta-alanine, 2 grams in there. This one happens to have fruits and greens and some amino acids. So that being a little bit different. And so a lot of them now have amino acids as well, because the idea being, maybe you want some of that in your blood so you don't break down muscle. And that's going to be dependent upon a lot of factors. How hard are you working out? Are you on a calorie-restricted diet? Things like that. So
yeah, the main effect is not building muscle while you're working out. It's to sort of halt the breakdown of muscle.
And that's the idea. And if you're on some super high-calorie diet, that's really not going to be necessary because all those carbs and fats and proteins, all those macronutrients you're taking in are going to activate the mTOR pathway and stop your body from breaking down muscle. So yeah, again, just to review, you have your stimulant versus non-stimulant ones. Stimulant ones, those are one of the times where we kind of, well, for our own criteria, anecdotal evidence, where based on how you feel, what the feedback is, because stims, you take it and you feel it right away. It's not, like you're so susceptible to a placebo effect, so it's a little bit easier to rely on friends when it comes to that stuff. Whereas other ingredients, look for human evidence, peer-reviewed, trying to adjust for placebo effect and things like that. Non-stimulant ones, as we said, they have their uses, have different purported effects. So that's really how to look at them. In the nitric oxide production, as of right now, there really are no ingredients that significantly increase nitric oxide in healthy adults. So that's just the reality of where it's at right now. It's not to say that it'll never happen. It's just right now that's the case. So we wouldn't recommend that being part of your criteria for buying a pre-workout. It should be some of the other things we talked about. So.
Yeah, most of the time if you're taking these products, a lot of the time it's the stimulants giving you that extra pump, pushing the blood into the cells.
Help get you going.
Get a better workout.
So, we hope this helps you make your decision. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the comments section. You can ask questions on the website, in our blog. We're happy to answer back. We appreciate you watching the video. You could also check us out at facebook.com/bestpricenutrition. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.